headlines. Russia acknowledges 63 of its soldiers died in a Ukrainian attack in Donetsk. Kyiv claims the actual number is in the hundreds. Russia has announced that 63 of its soldiers were killed in a New Year's Eve attack by Ukrainian forces. They were using HIMARS rockets supplied by the US. It's the biggest death toll acknowledged by Moscow for a single incident in the war, but Ukraine says the strike killed hundreds of Russian soldiers. Our correspondent Hugo Bechega reports now from Kyiv.
In a town in eastern Ukraine, rubble and many questions. This used to be a school, apparently turned into a base for Russian soldiers. At around midnight on New Year's Eve, Ukraine struck. How many were killed remains unclear. In Moscow, the army claimed the attack was carried out with rockets supplied by the Americans. But there was also a rare admission of casualties.
As a result of the strike by 4 rockets with high explosive warheads against the temporary deployment point, 63 Russian servicemen were killed.
In Russia, military bloggers were furious. They accused the army of failing to hide its troops and of housing them near ammunition stores. One report said the use of mobile phones by soldiers allowed the building to be located. And here in Kyiv, there were more conflicting reports.
First, the military claimed that 400 Russian troops had been killed. But now, it says the number is still being investigated. Eastern Ukraine has seen some of the fiercest battles in recent weeks. The latest Ukrainian attack could be one of the deadliest on Russian forces since the start of the war.
That was Hugo Bechega there, and we can hear more from Hugo, who gave us an update from Kyiv and explained the significance of this assault.
I think it's quite significant, first because of the extent of the losses. Moscow decided that it couldn't stay silent. It had to acknowledge this attack. But I think it's also significant because it could suggest a new strategy by the Ukrainians. Up until now, Ukraine has been using these long-range rockets supplied by the Americans to target Russia's military logistics and supply lines. But in recent weeks, they've been attacking bases and troop concentrations. Now, since the Ukrainians recaptured Kherson in mid-November, the front lines haven't really changed. The Ukrainians have been saying that they're waiting weather conditions to improve to resume their operations to take back territory that's now under occupation. So I think these latest attacks could give us a suggestion of where this counteroffensive is likely to go next.